What's happening, party people? I am in the Richmond, Virginia area. Man, it was too cold in the DC area for me. It's actually too cold here for me. I am headed south. I'll be in Richmond all day today, but I'm leaving Saturday morning, headed south. I am not going to get stuck in this inclement weather that's lurking around here. Can't afford to. I only have one daughter. We'll probably only get married one time. I'm not gonna hack that up, man. Just can't take the chance. Anyway, in today's video, I was helping Jose with his 04 XC70. He had a turbo custom made, some other things going on. Wasn't able to really finish anything because everything needs parts. This custom turbo they had made doesn't fit the exhaust flange. I don't think the rip kit is going to connect to it properly. Just the wastegate actuator didn't fit. You know, these people did some custom work, but they didn't make sure that he was going to be taken care of on the other side. So, you know, I highly encourage you guys to use people that have a lot of Volvo experience, man, so you don't get jacked up like this. I don't know what kind of car that turbo would have worked fine on, but it don't look like it's going to work fine on this one. We're going to have some struggles. Hopefully we can get that thing on and he can use it. So, cold, man. I'm headed south. I will be back in a couple of months to hopefully hang out until everybody that needs help is taken care of. So, sorry I didn't get a chance to meet a few of you guys that wanted to connect and possibly have me help you. But man, I'm just not going to take a chance on this weather getting me locked down or somebody running into my car in some ice or anything like that. I'm out of here. So, sorry I didn't get to see everybody. I will be headed south on 95. If somebody wants to do a meet and greet, have me scan a car or something like that, I'm open to do that. But I don't think I'll have a lot of time to do any work of substance. So I should be in the Orlando, Florida area Sunday afternoon or evening, and I'll be in that area until probably Friday. Then I'll be headed probably back to Albuquerque unless something really miraculous happens with the parts that we got to deal with on this XC70 in the Baltimore area. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video and learned something new. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also have tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. Okay, party people, here I am with this XC70. Man, we got a turbo down here. I don't even know what kind of turbo this is. This thing is huge. Might have come off a truck or something. I doubt that's what we're putting on this car. I see I did not complete the parking brake setup. Then I come in the back of the car and there's a turbo here. Not real sure what kind of turbo this is. It's got some oil in there, so it's lubricated up. Almost look like a TD04 in the back. That looks like a 9-blade hybrid. And then the 11-blade deep on the front. So this is a hybrid turbo. Not sure if this is, I think that's the one that we're going to put on the car. So there's several things I got torn apart here. I got to try to maybe go back, look at a couple videos, figure out where I'm at. It don't even look like I got the rear anti-sway bar all the way in. There's suspension is loose there. Needs to be jacked up and attached. So this car is kind of torn apart pretty good. So I need to figure out what's going on with it. Not sure why the focus quit focusing here, but I need to get this car back together and get this thing back on the road. I'm gonna try to start with this rear suspension stuff, with this parking brake stuff and stuff like that. It appears that this rear parking brake situation is not very good. That dust shield has pieces damaged on it. It's got bolts bent on it. I'm probably gonna have to take that off and go to a salvage yard and get some new replacement parts for that. This side also in bad shape. I did take the bolts, it looks like, out of it already. Look like a bolt hole is here, maybe. I'm not sure if that's broke off or not. But yeah, but I need to get a new one of that. I'm gonna have to pull these hubs off to fix that. Those bolts actually look damaged. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. So probably gonna have to pull that stuff apart. Interesting. I got a heater blowing, people. Look, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. That's some heat right there. Feel like 200 degrees right here. Woo-wee. Man, that feels good. I think I might have left this stuff undone just to get at this turbo stuff on here. And we got an intercooler and stuff that goes up here. So I don't think I even added coolant back to this car. Do-do-do-do. Got a bulb here. Phillips 12 volt. Trying to see what size it is. Do-do-do-do. I'll figure out that later. I don't know if we're changing the ETM on this thing. Looks like it's got a bigger bored out ETM sitting here. So, man, I need to talk to the owner, unfortunately. I think I need to get our exhaust manifold, and if we're going to be pushing more power, we're probably going to have to end up doing something with this PCV system. So that's kind of strange. I do not think this PCV system is adequate over 250 horsepower, and I think with the modifications he's shooting for probably 350 horsepower. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. Red Baron has this variant of a PCV system, and I think it's clogged, so I'm not sure what we're going to do with this. So let me think about, see if I can find some parking brake parts and maybe go to the salvage yard and get some dust shields for these parking brakes. How about that? Found all the parking brake parts. Man, those shoes look worn down. Wonder if those got stuck on at one point. Part of the shoes are worn down. Do need to get dust shields for it. So I'm gonna hold on that. I may be able to get this IPD anti-sway bar and these rear sway bar end links installed. Probably gonna start on that. But I may want to pull the hubs before I do that, because that'll be part of fixing that parking brake dust shield situation. Let me take a close look at that. Maybe do that first. Pull the hubs, pull the dust shield. Then up here, I probably pull the fan, pull the radiator, pull the intercooler to prepare to put the new intercooler in, and then take a look at this turbo, pull the heat shields and get that turbo out, maybe even pull the exhaust manifold off so that we can get that turbo out of there and prepare to put the new turbo in. I need to pull these hubs to get these dust shields off and get replacement dust shields from somewhere. I imagine they can be cut here and put in, and they may be stable, but the right thing to do would be to pull the hubs off and do it that way. I don't know if I should be making that call or not, but that is a possibility. Not sure how hard it'd be to cut that. Man, it seems like it might be difficult. Might be easier to pull the hubs. Anyway, then we got all of these modifications to do. Man, it's got a battery in the car. I didn't know that. Got all these modifications to do, which includes the intercooler, turbo, stuff like that. So all of this stuff needs to be torn out. Maybe even this intake manifold. I had to check with the owner on that, so I could be tearing all that stuff apart as well. So let me get started and see what kind of progress I can make on this. I'm gonna start off by pulling these hubs. That's a 14 millimeter to get the CV axle bolt out of the rear, and then these bolts that hold the hub in, I sprayed them with WD-40. I don't have my PB Blaster readily available, but those are 17s on the back. So let me go ahead and pull those 5 bolts, see if I can get this hub to come out of here. I was able to get all 4 bolts all the way out of the hub. I pushed the axle in. Not that that really mattered once I got the bolt out, but I got all of those bolts out with a long 17 6-point. This curvy one, I got this rear lower bolt out. Then I put a socket in the swivel and long extension to twist it the other way out. These 2 bolts on this side just came out with the 17 and a half inch. Now I'm trying to get that thing to slide out of the knuckle. So what I'm gonna do is put the tire on there, put a couple of lug nuts in it, 2 or 3, and then try to pull the tire away from the car, which should slide that bearing assembly out, hopefully without taking the bearing apart. It'd be nice if I could get something in the crack of it or work it out, or maybe put a couple of screws back in it, turn them halfway in, and then tap the screw heads toward me so I don't mess up the threads, because I'm planning on reusing these bearings. So let me try that. Screw the screw in, tap it in, tap the screws this way, see if I can get that to start working out. It's got a little rust build up around it. Man, this bearing is tight in this knuckle. Got to try to figure out how to get it out without destroying it. Could not get that bearing off of this side. Didn't want to destroy the bearing. I got some WD-40 hopefully penetrating that, and maybe by the time I get the other side loose, this side will be ready to come off. So let's head over to the other side, get the bolts out of the back of that one, see if we can get the other side off. I'm gonna take that 14 off. Those bolts are damaged. Hopefully that won't stop them from coming out. Then I'm gonna work on those 17s on the back of the bearing. I need parts to proceed with the rear suspension stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and tear apart the front up here. I'm going to take the turbo out. I'm going to take the radiator out. I'm going to take the throttle body off and get everything prepared to put in this intercooler. That's the intercooler over there. also put in the new turbo stuff. So let me start taking this heat shield and things off. And yes, got the heat fired back up. So let me go ahead and start taking this stuff apart. First I took that T25 out. Next I'm taking that T25 out. Then I'm going to take that clamp loose there and the clamps loose back there. Then I should be able to lift this OTE pipe off from over the engine. Next I'm going to remove the fan from the front of the engine. It's actually mounted on the back side of the radiator, intercooler, things like that. So I'm going to take that bolt out there, probably 10 millimeter. I'm going to take the wire harness loose there. I'm going to unplug that wire harness there, unclip this wire here, take that bolt out there, move this coolant hose off of the fan shroud assembly, and then lift this fan up and out of the way. That plug came out very easy. I got the wire harness out of the way. I'm going to move the coolant hose on top of the radiator. Now I'm going to take these two 10 millimeters out, and I should be able to lift this fan up and out of the way. Probably easier to get the fan out if you remove this top radiator hose. However, if you do not, you need to shift the fan toward the passenger side, pull the lower guide out around this hydraulic line for the automatic transmission, and then pivot it the driver's side up and pull it out that way. Because this piece here was getting hung up on that hydraulic line. So shift it over that way, pull this side toward the back of the car, lift it out around that hydraulic line, then lift the whole thing up and out of the car. Next, I'm going to remove the turbo. So I'm going to take the heat shield off. Should be a couple 12 millimeters. Then I'm going to disconnect the coolant line, disconnect the oil lines, and go from there. These heat shields are normally two parts. You got an upper and an inner. So this piece here has a bolt back here, usually a 12 millimeter on the back side back there, right above the drive shaft. You got a bolt here, bolt over there behind the turbo inlet, and this bolt here. And I'll see if there's any more once I get those four out. I got the O2 sensor out. I got the exhaust loose from the flange. It's possible that this flange is a smaller flange for a 13T or 13G. I might want to find a larger flange for a T5. See, it ends with that number 6. I want one that's a little bigger. So I got the oil line loose from there. Now I'm about to take the coolant line bolt out there, and then I'll just have the drain. And I'm going to take all the heat shield bolts out, and then take the exhaust manifold off so that I can put in an R exhaust manifold. We got the exhaust manifold out and the turbo out. Kind of interesting. This is a XC70 5-cylinder. It has a R exhaust manifold, but it has the smaller angle flange. It's got the numbers there with a -6 on it. Angle flange. Now, it has a 14T on it. I didn't know that. TD04L14T. That's how big the one coming out is. Let me find the one we got going in. This is the one we got going in. If I had to guess, it's a 19T, maybe 20T. That's the one coming out. It's a 14T. It has a 6x6 blade arrangement. This one has the 11 blade billet wheel arrangement. It's a hybrid. This has the 11 blade exhaust wheel. This one has the raised 9-blade exhaust wheel. So that's the hole of the one going in. This is the hole of the one coming out. Significantly different size on that charge pipe feed. So we'll have to get a larger deal here. It's also got a nipple there so that it can monitor turbo pressure off of that instead of down here under the housing like this one has. The nipple under the housing there. That's where we're at with this turbo modification. It doesn't have a bypass valve, but we have a bypass valve and a blow-off valve. So this one's a little different. We got a different wastegate actuator and stuff. We're going to build this one up, but I think we're going to get a better, larger exhaust flange off of the exhaust manifold. Next, I'm going to take the radiator out and the intercooler out. I'm not sure if this comes out as a package out the bottom or if it comes out one piece at a time out the top. Like, looks like there's room for it. So let me check with somebody and get this stuff out of here. Yeah, this turbo housing is different than the one that came on the car. So we are trying to make sure that our rib kit, you want to set those two side by side again. Let me go on the side. Modifications, man. Always a headache. Houston, we have a problem. That hybrid turbo is not fitting in the exhaust flange. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.